Hi, this is Erin with Best Life Physical Therapy, and today I'd like to talk about one of the roadblocks that could be in the way of healing your persisting pain. And one of those roadblocks potentially could be the way that you treat yourself. So, if you find that you fall into the category of being someone who has perfectionistic tendencies or feelings about yourself that you're not good enough or you're haven't done enough, it's always something you should do, then you may fall into the category of someone who would likely benefit from improving your own self-compassion. And I actually had to learn about this through it was a therapist that was talking about self-compassion, and she happened to be a physical therapist, and she said to herself that before she would start a session with her client that she was going to be working with, she would first say, okay, I pray that, or I don't know if she was praying or just had an intention that before she walked into the session that the patient wouldn't be harmed and that she wouldn't be harmed as well. And that seems like such an easy concept. Of course, you're trying to help someone. You wouldn't want them to be harmed, but you wouldn't want yourself to be harmed as well. But for me, that was a groundbreaking idea. Like, I never really thought about myself before. So that told me, oh, okay, you need to work on your self-compassion. So sometimes when we are dealing with some long-term issue, we've had this for a very long time or even a short period of time, and we get frustrated with ourselves and what am I not doing right? What can I do better? Or how can I fix this? And then you get down on yourself because you are still struggling. And so what I'd like to do is just flip that switch, because as we are trying to make these new pathways in the brain, we have to, we're going down this old pathway, and the old pathway is not helping. It's not helpful. So we've acknowledged that we can change the brain and we can go down a new pathway. But in order to do that, we have to create some different dialogue, different narrative, different thoughts. So instead of being so hard on ourselves, we could be like, okay, you're gonna be okay. This is you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. And sometimes it does have to go back to our childhood. And did we receive the messages from our parents that we needed to hear at that time? And I had a very loving upbringing, but I still have found that when I go back and look at what I actually need, what I needed, I've had to go ahead and think about how I could reparent myself. Like, I think about some of the experiences I had as a child, and if it were my child, would I be okay with those experiences? And I would say to myself, no, I would parent my child differently. I would be loving and concerned and maybe give hugs more and talk more about my feelings and what we can do. Sometimes we just say it out loud, and when we say it out loud, then the shame dissipates and goes away, because shame lives in isolation, really. So just having someone to talk to. Well, at this point in your life, if you're an adult, you can reparent that younger part of yourself. You can give love and compassion to that part. So I would just like to challenge you to view yourself in a more positive light. Bring those positive words of affirmation to yourself when you're feeling frustrated with yourself. Instead, try to turn that around and just be curious and ask questions instead of creating more criticisms toward yourself. And let's just see how that starts to change your brain in a positive direction.